Okay, so the evaluation criteria, I was telling about evaluation criteria. So we'll have two assignments, one quiz and one minor one, or like after the fractal ends, and maybe one viva or something like that. So it is not decided yet, but uh, you will know in few days. Okay. So let me start with presentation. So let me share my screen with you so that, okay, so let's see. Oh, okay. So can you see this screen now? I'll go from the beginning. So somebody can tell me if they can, because I am in the full, oh, let me just, yeah. So this screen is visible to you, right? Someone can turn off the mic and say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, good. Okay, so let me go to the full screen mode. Yeah. Okay, so before we start, so also one thing you should remember, so we have two uh, shifts, right? So we have one class in the morning and one class in the afternoon. Okay. So if you look at this timetable, so we have half an hour in the morning and half an hour in on the same day, although the times will be different. So the E slot, so this is in the E slot, and E slot we have also in the morning and as well as in the afternoon. Okay, so today again, and each session will be for half an hour, and we will meet again in the afternoon at 1:30. Okay, so that means the class or the lecture is not for 50 minutes, but divided into 25 minutes, 25 minutes. So one session in the morning and one session in the afternoon. So you have to take care of that. And we have classes, I think, on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so we have 4 days this time. So because the trimester is shorter now, and we have to have, let's say, about 14 lecture hours for one fractal. So that's why we have 4 lectures every week. So instead of like 3, what you have in a normal semester. Okay, and so all these things you have to take care of while taking classes. So this is like a general information. So it is not only for this course, but for all courses, it is it is like that. Okay, so I think another thing is, I hope all of you are from electrical engineering, because what I saw yesterday, like there were some branch changes that happened, and some students from other branches, like from bioengineering or from mechanical, also changed to electrical engineering. So if you know anyone who has changed his or her branch and is not added in this Google Classroom, so just let them know and also tell me, so that I can add them in this Google Classroom. And one more thing is, those who have changed their branch and have not registered yet in Aryavata portal, so they should do it also immediately. So otherwise, it will be difficult to do this evaluation and grading and all those things. So you should add this course as soon as possible. Okay, so we start, and also when I yeah, so if you have any questions, what we can do is, so let's we just finish this today, and in the afternoon session, if you have questions, so we will start with that. If you have some doubts or queries, so right now I'll just go through. So we have almost maybe 10 more minutes because it's until 8:25. So I'll just give a small introduction or a motivation on this course, why you should do that, or why I think you should do that, or the institute thinks you should do that. Uh, and in the afternoon session at 1:30, we can have a discussion and chat if you have any other questions. Okay. So let me start. So this is a course which is related to, so you have in the new curriculum, you have a lot of modifications. So in the first year, you learned about all basic science things. So what is familiar to you? Physics, chemistry, so maybe a little bit of electrical engineering, and so introduction to different engineering aspects. And now you are moving towards more into your uh, core area, which is your electrical engineering. But even before going into the core, still you, so this is a new curriculum which is introduced for the first time at IIT Jodhpur, and I think also so not many IITs are following this. And what we have introduced is a new course on materials, like some introduction to materials for engineering students. So like you can say, as an electrical engineer, why I would be interested. Uh, so as an electrical engineer, you would be saying why I should study materials, a course on material. So if you see the fractals, you have magnetic materials, then you will learn about energy materials, and also how you can design materials computationally. Okay, using computers or simulations, you can also design materials. So one thing, I think last year, I think many of you, some of you were in this engineering design. I mean, all of you did this engineering design course, and at least I was part of so one of the mentors in this engineering design, and some of you already know that. And there in that course, you might have seen that when you make or prepare a prototype, any device you make. So one aspect, of course, at least in the second year, right, or the second semester, when you were doing or thinking about how to design it. So one question always was what kind of materials you should use, right? Whether you are making a mechanical device or electrical device, or you want to take any kind of machines you want to make. So always the question you start with, like what kind of material you should take. Like there are many criteria based on which you decide which material is best suited for your particular application. So now, so that's why I would say material is one very crucial part, and it should be like you should know at least a basic idea of different kinds of materials. So now if I say what kind of materials you know, so you might say it is let's say, so in electrical materials, you could say it could be conducting. So basically they're divided based on their properties. So they can be divided based on their electrical properties, their mechanical properties, right? So electrical properties means, so it can be a conductor, right? Or it can be an insulator, or it can be like a semiconductor. Okay, so all these materials are used for different purposes. So you can also based on divide or classify your materials based on mechanical properties. Like you can say whether the material is really hard, strong, or brittle, or has high elasticity, right? So these, based on these properties, you can classify different materials. So similarly, also that is true for magnetic materials. So now the question is, I want to ask, let me go back. Okay, so do you know any magnetic material that is useful for application as, I mean, so right now you are not an electrical engineer, but you will be. But as in, like if you think like an engineer, so do you know any magnetic material or application of magnetic material in anywhere? So anybody can say. So unmute, one of you can unmute your mic and say if you know it. Anyone? Okay, so let me stop sharing it and I'll go back to, so if you want, you can say it on the chat box. Okay, yeah. Core of solenoids, iron, that is true. Yes. So you did some experiments. I think some of you might have done some physics experiments based on magnets, right? Yeah, DC, AC motor, transformers. Wow, okay. Electromagnets in electric bell, right? So yes, there are a lot of examples, right? Yeah, soft iron. Okay. That's indeed true. So you already mentioned quite a lot of applications, materials which are actually used in this kind of so iron, cobalt, nickel. So these are like very well-known magnetic materials. Uh, just share again. So now. Uh, Yeah, so you just mentioned all different kinds of applications. So here I also mentioned like electric motors, so transformers. So one thing is this computers or laptops or mobile devices. And even you have it in home appliances like in washing machines, air conditioners, television, or even in automobiles. So in electric vehicles, EVs, I mean, of course, in EVs, it is part of your motor. Uh, but it is so basically used in this different all like so one thing is about this magnetic materials is just like uh, I mean sometimes it is unfortunate that you are called electrical engineers. Of course you study a lot of electricity, but if you have done your electromagnetism course, so you would have seen that electricity and magnetism is basically inseparable. Okay, so they normally will exist together. I mean, if you are talking about current, so there will be always a magnetic field associated with that. So magnetism and electricity are really like like twin brothers or sisters. So they exist together. And unfortunately, you are called electrical engineers, but if you look at any hardcore electrical engineers, so they also know a lot about magnetism as well, right? So I choose one example here. This is like a laptop. So one example is laptop. Uh, I'm not sure if all of you know what is magnetic in a laptop. So let's say, so you are an engineer, so you break like this laptop into small parts. So you take out all kinds of hardwares, right? So now you have to identify different parts. Okay. So do you have a class after this? 8:30?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. So then I will stop sharing, but I will leave it like an open question to all of you. So, so maybe in the afternoon session when we meet at 1:30, so you tell me what is magnetic. Is there any magnetic material in a mobile device or in a laptop? And what is that? Or somebody can write now. Oh yeah, somebody wrote already. Yes. Okay. Hard drives, right. We have this magnetic hard disks, so which is basically used as a storage device or a memory device in your laptops. So that is all, it is based on magnetic materials. So I will, so we'll start from that. And so I stop right now. Uh, yeah, so I stop.